Many people believe that bears are elusive creatures, living deep in the forest or high up in the mountains, far from human civilization. This belief often lulls us into a false sense of safety. But when the unexpected happens, when a bear suddenly appears where you least expect it, the encounter can be both chilling and unforgettable. From heart-pounding chases to close calls in our own backyards, these real-life stories of bear encounters will leave you questioning how close these majestic creatures really are to us. So, brace yourself as we dive into some of the most terrifying bear encounters caught on camera. Just out fishing, the Alaska standoff. In Alaska, YouTuber Kelly Nightlinger was enjoying a peaceful walk along Fish Creek when she stumbled upon a group of fishermen who had no idea what was lurking nearby. A large black bear had emerged from the forest unnoticed by the fishermen and was moving closer to the group. Kelly, realizing the danger, quickly started filming as the bear approached. One fisherman, undeterred by the presence of the massive animal, slowly stepped toward it, hoping to assert some form of dominance. The bear paused and crouched, almost as if it was sizing him up. The tension in the air was palpable, and for a moment it seemed like an inevitable confrontation. But the fisherman threw a few rocks in the bear's direction, startling it enough to make it retreat back into the woods. It was a tense, heart-racing moment that could have ended much worse, but the group was incredibly fortunate to walk away unharmed. Imagine cycling down a quiet mountain road, lost in the rhythm of the ride, when suddenly, out of the corner of your eye, you see a dark figure moving fast. A bear charging straight at you. That's exactly what happened to one unlucky cyclist in Montana. The bear had been grazing in the brush and, seemingly out of nowhere, took off after the cyclist. The rider pedaled as fast as he could, desperately trying to outrun the animal. As he sped through the winding trail, the bear was still hot on his heels, but a few trees and bushes blocked the path, preventing the bear from following further. The chase ended abruptly, and both the cyclist and the bear turned away. An unexpected visitor. The curious bear in Vermont. In the quiet woods of Vermont, a brave dog named Jameson was happily playing in the yard, not knowing that a curious bear was about to make an unexpected appearance. The bear, seemingly intrigued by the dog, crept closer and chased after him. But Jameson wasn't about to back down. Instead of running in fear, he barked fiercely and darted around the yard, trying to stand his ground. At first, the scene looked incredibly tense, but then something surprising happened. The bear stopped and stood on its hind legs just a few feet away from Jameson, as if it was sizing him up. Jameson, undeterred, wagged his tail, and the two animals engaged in a bizarre, almost playful standoff. The bear, perhaps realizing it wasn't a threat, turned and wandered back into the woods. The British Columbia encounter. While out for an early morning run in the wilderness of British Columbia, a young woman found herself in the midst of a terrifying bear encounter. As she jogged along a trail, she noticed a large black bear nearby. At first, she froze, hoping the bear wouldn't notice her, but the bear did. Slowly, it made its way closer, its eyes fixed on her. The runner tried to back away slowly, hoping to de-escalate the situation, but the bear wasn't backing off. It came right up to her and nudged her leg with its nose. In that instant, her heart raced. The bear wasn't attacking, but it was certainly curious, too curious for comfort. Taking a deep breath, she made a split-second decision. She sprinted as fast as she could, hoping to outdistance the animal. Miraculously, the bear didn't pursue her, but it was a close call that could have gone in a much darker direction. In one of the most heart-stopping moments on this list, a 17-year-old girl from a rural town faced off with a bear that had scaled the fence of her backyard. The bear was no ordinary visitor. It had 2 cubs in tow and was clearly determined to scavenge. The family's dogs immediately ran up to the fence to protect their home, barking loudly. Without thinking twice, Haley, the teen, rushed outside to help. In a bold and heroic move, she pushed the bear off the fence, keeping herself between it and the dogs. The bear, momentarily stunned by her bravery, backed off. Haley quickly ushered her dogs inside, securing them from any further danger. When the bear finally retreated, Haley's heart was still racing, but she had managed to avert disaster with quick thinking and calm actions. Her heroics saved her pets from certain harm, proving that bravery and quick decision-making can make all the difference in a life-threatening situation. Imagine a scene of complete silence, interrupted only by the sounds of nature, until a bear emerges from the underbrush. That's exactly what happened to a group of hunters in Katmai National Park. As they settled in for a day of hunting, a large bear wandered into their area. Rather than panicking, the hunters remained still, hoping the bear would lose interest. But the bear did the opposite. It moved toward them. Realizing they were too close to the animal, the hunters shouted to scare it off, but the bear didn't budge. One of the hunters fired a warning shot just inches from the bear. Thankfully, the bear was startled by the sound and retreated, leaving the hunters unharmed. The hunters were lucky to have walked away from that encounter with their lives. Surveillance cameras caught a heart-stopping moment when a hungry bear wandered into a restaurant parking lot, sniffing around for leftovers. A tourist, unaware of the bear just feet away, kept walking until the bear noticed him and froze. Tension rose. Then, in a flash, the bear charged. But just as things turned dangerous, a loud bang from the restaurant scared it off. During one of his hunting trips, a man sat quietly behind some trees, waiting for his target. In the distance, he noticed something moving, slowly growing larger as it approached. It didn't take long for him to realize it was a black bear heading straight toward him. Dressed in full camouflage and armed with a large rifle, the man may have looked like a threat to the bear. Feeling challenged, the bear charged. "Go away!" the man shouted, but of course, the bear didn't understand human language. With the massive creature closing in, the hunter hesitated. Instead of immediately firing, he carefully raised his scoped rifle and prepared himself. If I were in his place, I'd probably have fired without hesitation. But this man showed restraint, and it paid off. Just a few feet from reaching him, the bear stopped. Then, after a tense moment, it turned and ran in the other direction. One wrong step, and things could have ended very differently. High up on a tree perch, 2 hunters witnessed something straight out of a wildlife documentary. 2 black bears locked in a fierce brawl. The sounds of growling and the violent scuffle below would have terrified most people, but these 2 watched on calmly, as if enjoying ringside seats at a boxing match. Not exactly the wisest pair. They were snacking on some tuna while waiting for their prey. After the fight ended, one of the bears caught the scent of the fish and was drawn to it. Unable to resist, the bear began climbing the ladder that led straight up to the hunter's perch. Surprisingly, the men didn't panic. If it were me, I'd have tossed the tuna as far away as possible. But these hunters had another plan. One of them held out a glove for the bear to sniff. Somehow, it worked. The bear backed off, climbed down the ladder, and left them alone. Sometimes, it seems, an unusual tactic can save the day. In a dense Turkish forest, a group of scientists encountered a large brown bear. The bear didn't charge or show aggression. It seemed startled to see humans. Upon closer inspection, they noticed the animal's paw was caught in a steel wire trap. The bear was stuck and clearly in pain. The researchers knew they couldn't leave it like that. Luckily, they had a tranquilizer with them. One of them took a careful shot and the bear slowly drifted into sleep. Once unconscious, they approached, freed its trapped paw, cleaned the wound, and let the bear rest peacefully. One can only imagine the animal's confusion and relief upon waking. No more trap, no more pain. Just the forest once again, his to roam. While hiking in Alaska's Katmai National Park, a couple stumbled upon two grizzly bears on a secluded trail. With no escape, they froze as one bear curiously approached. Holding hands and staying silent, they stood still, hoping not to be noticed. After a few tense moments, the bear turned away. In such moments, calm and smart choices can save your life.